Hey, what's up guys? Vimp here, coming at you with another one of these zombie survival videos. We're actually going to be playing a pretty different version. This is called Zombie Defense. One of the maps that are, I guess, I would assume the one that is the most updated at the moment. The map developer is on crack. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, he's putting out so many different versions. So it's kind of difficult to keep up, but the game is super fun, man. Fundamentally, the mechanics of the game is super fun. It's quite difficult. It's a very tough task. So we are matched. We're not matched, but we're actually going to be dual basing with a Fuzzy, little map representative, very cool person. We were actually Discord calling, and Discord calling, Jesus Christ.
Nice.
We're on comms, and essentially, we're kind of trying to survive. So he's kind of like survivalist pro. You know what I mean? He's really good at this. Like he's a veteran, an absolute beast when it comes to like zombie survival. So decided to upload this. The only way I feel like I would be able to survive was with like, being guided by someone, because this game is super freaking punishing, man. One little mistake and you're already out. It's insane. Because the thing is, like, zombies in this game, like, any sort of Call of Duty zombies or whatever, every time you, like, a human dies, it morphs into a zombie. Well, wait, Call of Duty zombies, it's not... Wait, that was a bad analogy, actually. Do you guys play Call of Duty zombies? If you guys, let me know down in the comments. I feel like it was one of them. It's among the best zombie games, for sure, right? Like, you guys cannot deny it, right? You guys are gonna say, like, zombie survival. Remember that video that I just uploaded? Zombie survival, it got 60K views. 60,000 people watched that goddamn video. Are you kidding me? How does that make any sense? What the? Excuse me? It's crazy. But listen, I mean, you guys seem to like zombie survival videos. I'm bringing another one to you guys. So again, upload schedule is a little bit all over the place, not gonna lie. Simply because, in real life stuff, duty calls, it is what it is. So zombie defense, pretty straightforward. Let's get into the game. So we're starting off with obviously a big base. So that we're actually kind of trying to secure a big base and mining ores around the map, giving us decent early income. So in this game, you have two types of peasants. So you have gatherers, which gather gold for you through wheat. Wheat is essentially those little farms that we place on the floor. They generate wheat over time, and those gatherers, the blue guys, essentially gather the wheat for you, and you generate a little bit of gold. So, and the second tier ones would be peasants, which essentially what they do is gather lumber, build structures, and all that good stuff. So, you don't really have any heroes per se in this game. It's mostly you just macroing a crazy amount of units. You will see this game gets a little bit crazy. Like, even though, like, by the way, every time there's a player, there's a boss spawning. So essentially our objective here is to survive all the waves and defeat the final boss. The final boss is kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie. You guys will... I'm not gonna, spoil anything, but this game is kind of crazy. Some people might know this, to be honest, from past experience or other videos. But this game gets kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It's like zombie survival on crack. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know what's wrong with the map developer. Like, he definitely wants this. I feel like the map developer wants to see the world burn. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this game is, dude, this game is something else. I'm not gonna lie. You know that little guy that receives a ball on his head and says, "Yeah"? I feel like that's who's developing this map.
Right now.
Okay, I have issues, dude. I have issues. And here we go. First few zombie spawns. So essentially what we're going to be attempting to do here is building a few towers. Few early towers and covering all entrances to the base. We're playing on the valley map at the moment. So this map usually is a massive plain. And essentially how you want to defend it is cover pretty much all entrances, all corners. So my guy Red, Fuzzy, my boy, the expert, the zombie survival expert, essentially covering pretty much the right side. So east side of the base, I'm covering west. Well, I'm also covering north. So we pretty much are splitting tasks at the moment. Early on, you kind of want to greed as much as you can. Get that greed in, so build as many farms as possible and just get early good economy. Because essentially, if you don't greed early, you're going to have a very hard time sufficing your expenses, because this game is very, I don't know, it builds up pretty fast. So the momentum at which this game like scales mid game to late game, you guys will see it's absolutely like it's absurd. It's literally absurd because from a second to the other, from a minute to the other, you would get like 20 zombies hitting your walls. And if you're not prepared with some good AoE or any sort of defense or high tier walls, you're pretty much donezo. Because, you know, zombies obviously do upgrade with time. So you might get like, you know, zombie bosses, zombies with auras, zombies with like immolation, zombies that do quite a bit of damage, fast zombies and all that good stuff. So it gets kind of crazy, okay? You even get these fat or thick boys, fat zombies. So yeah, it starts to be pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. So here we're still queuing up a lot of peasants to get a good amount of lumber. And we're gonna be teching up shortly. So every time you tech, you get access to a perk. So perk, first perk we actually went for extra peasants. That's the kind of usual meta at the moment. It really kind of depends which perks you want to go for. You could go for like an offensive perk, a defensive perk, or economy perk, right? So obviously, you know, I'm the green master. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go for economy perk. So, well, it's technically just meta at the moment to just go for economy perk. Reason being is at the moment, the way the perk works. So we're going for irrigation, I think it's called. Essentially, that perk, what it does, it's pretty much like decreases the time at which wheat spawns from 50 seconds to 45 seconds. So we get faster spawning wheat around your, obviously your farms, and your gatherers, you know, go to town and you start getting a good amount of gold. So that's pretty much what you want to attempt to do. The earlier you tech, the better. Allows you to, you know, further improve, obviously, your research and just get a lot more gold, solidifying your position to, moving into mid game, pretty much. So here we're building a lot of towers. There's obviously taking quite a bit of damage, but I feel like it's not so bad. It's still manageable to this kind of stage of the game. So again, we're just going to be teching up, going for more tech, and let's see where it goes. So here we go, guys. We actually teched up a little bit. So we built a technology center, put one on the floor, as you see, right next to the town center, and we're massing pretty much the farms. There's a few things that you guys have changed from the previous kind of like segment of the video. Essentially, we've upgraded the walls to tier 2. So the technology center or research center allows us to get our walls to stone, which is pretty cool. It's a very nice research. And it's actually a, you actually need it in order to tech up pretty much. And we also added a trebuchet, which is a very newish kind of addition to the game. You guys can hear the audio behind the trebuchet. It's so freaking smooth. I love it so much. It does quite a bit of damage. I feel like it's it doesn't say how much damage it does, but it does quite a bit of damage in like a smaller, pretty decent AoE. So I feel like it's decent to have. I don't think it's necessarily the best cost efficiency because it costs quite a bit of lumber to build. But I feel like I had to display the fun content for you guys. After all, we're trying to make good content, so it is what it is. Had to build the trebuchet. Look at how sick it looks, and look how awesome it sounds. Why wouldn't I want to build one? You know what I mean? And plus, it's gonna do so much damage in these like areas on the wall, the top right hand area where, you know, zombies are going to be stacking, and that trebuchet is going to do a lot of work. So I feel like, you know, potentially it's not so bad because that area is quite big. So I feel like us securing that spot is going to be pretty solid. So why not? Decided to build it, and we're pretty much waiting for the next tech. We're going to be going for tier 3. Tier 3 will allow us to go for advanced tower engineering. Essentially what that perk does is a pretty much offensive perk. It increases the attack speed of pretty much all your towers, which is usually at the moment is the kind of like meta. So you want to go for peasants tier 1, tier 2 you want to go for irrigation, and tier 3 you go for the tower perk, which is actually a pretty solid way to kind of like play the game. So if you guys want to try it for yourselves, I definitely recommend these 3 perks. For the first perk, we'll talk about it a little bit later down the line. So pretty good. We're starting to get a lot of zombies at the moment. So we're going to be throwing a few more peasants on these walls to start repairing. Usually what you want to do, at least have a few peasants kind of patrolling around the, you know, the hit areas. So that's pretty much what you see me doing. But, you know, whenever you do that, sadly, you lose a lot of like lumber, but you kind of have to survive. So it doesn't really matter. So you have access to this worker. I haven't really talked to you guys. Once you get tier 3, you also get engineers, so next tier workers, which are going to be very helpful for, you know, building high tier towers and start to get that, that food supply, which is very important. So food supply, the way it works in this game, it's a very important kind of thing you have to do and think about. So you build roads right next to the city, like in a, you know, casual town, and you build houses. Houses actually have taxes over time, so to give you gold And they also give you food, which is super important to build next tier towers, which require food, I guess, to kind of like quote unquote arm them. And that's what you see us do. Our boy Fuzzy a little bit faster than me for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like it's the simply because, oh, by the way, look at this. We're actually he actually made a hole in the base, and I thought this is literally gonna be over. But yeah, we're barely surviving because of his ballista tires, which do massive AoE at the moment. But he somehow manages to salvage the situation, which is absolutely crazy, dude. I thought I was gonna go. I thought I was literally gonna we're gonna lose there. Yeah, look at this, guys. Game literally is mid-game, but it starts to be crazy. We even get air units, which are super difficult to deal with. As you see, they're quite durable, and I have to move my peasants away, and I'm losing a lot of economy, doing so. It's not like I needed lumber anyways, but, something to think about. So I feel like there's 3 waves in general when it comes to air, so you kind of have to know the timings and kind of prepare for them. But as you see, the second you lose 1 peasant, the next one morphs and you get like freaking zombies in your in your back line of like workers. It starts to be, and they wreak havoc. So it's bad, literally. So anyways, at this point, run them away from the zombie and we pretty much like stabilize, which is awesome. And here we go, guys. We've just breached tier 4. Finally. Dude, I was waiting for this moment. So this is where the game starts to be quite interesting. So using our defense contractor in tier 4, we start building starports. Very, very, very powerful. Actually, wall and like damage upgrades or towers. So it's a all-in-one type of like wall/damage tower, which is super good. So usually, whenever you're at this stage of the game, you kind of want to like replace the walls with starports. Starforts, sorry, I should say that. And essentially what they do, they have multi-shot, quite a bit of damage, a lot fortified armor, and quite a bit of HP. So really good, but might as well keep your walls. Doesn't really matter. You could definitely do that. It's not like it's too much of a problem. So as you see, we are upgrading walls to last tier, which is cement walls, which is super good. You do want to place those star forts in like key positions close to your tech research center. It's also very important. You want to get as many houses as possible, allowing you to pretty much tax your citizens and essentially get a lot of gold, right? So that's pretty good. That's usually pretty good. You see my teammates actually doing a little bit of a better job utilizing the roads on both sides and just maximizing his space. So I feel like when it comes to like gameplay, I still have a lot of improvements to do. But I feel like I'm doing fine, holding up my own. Like he does have double my kills, as you see in the top right hand corner of your screen. But I feel like I'm doing fine for kind of like a noob, So listen, he said that I did a pretty good job, so I'm happy. Anyways, we built a barracks, so a military academy. That will allow us to build infantry, which we're going to use to place kind of like close to our tree line, which will allow us to defend our peasants and pretty much our kind of like source of income, right? Because if our peasants or gatherers die, then we pretty much have no income and we cannot build any sort of defenses, and we're pretty much screwed. So as simple as that. Another thing we have to think about is we cannot mine through. So obviously, wood is limited to a certain extent. So we can build lumber yards to actually rebuild those trees if we do want to. But I feel like sometimes it's kind of like it's a bad thing because you get your peasants stuck in the tree line, which is kind of unfortunate. But in the end, I feel like you got to do what you got to do. And I think we're on the right path. We're definitely on the right path. We have pretty much fortified pretty well. We're starting to get a decent amount of gold and resources. It's all up to just build a lot of towers. You can even build some tanks, all that good stuff. Speaking of tier 4, I think I didn't even like talk about it. But essentially we got the repair boys, the goblin engineers. Essentially they're like repair bots that repair walls and like star forts and all that stuff. So they're critical when it comes to late game because they are quite needed when it comes to those old, or what's it called, the final boss does so much freaking damage, like AoE damage. Those repair bots are gonna put in work for sure. But yeah, it's pretty slow at the moment. We're waiting for the next airwave, and let's see how it does. So here we go, guys, approaching the 5-minute and 30 seconds mark to survive. We only have 5 minutes left. It's about to get absolutely insane. Just, buckle up, guys. Once I was playing this game, I was super focused. But yeah, it starts to get quite crazy. So we have these meaty boys doing siege damage, have immolation, and they do so much damage to these walls. So at this point, one of them breaks through. It's super tough to defend because they do an absurd amount of damage to structures. Essentially, what we got to do is kind of like kite them and hope for the best. Honestly, that's pretty much the only thing we need to do. Like, I love how my Fuzzy is literally like, yo, dude, it's fine, chillax. Like, this happens all the time. And I'm like literally panicking. I'm like, shit. Oh, dude, they broke through. Please, this was a good recording. Come on, man. We cannot lose. Right? So here, what we have to do is essentially keep building those starports. As I mentioned before, replace, those walls with starports because they have a lot more HP and armor. So they should be kind of like handling those meaty boys quite fine. So like at this point, it's pretty straightforward. We're also going to be building some pillage boxes, which are those kind of like bunkers, which you can place a few infantries in there, and they're quite effective. The only downside is they have very low range, but their attack rate or fire rate is very high. So that's the downside of like getting one of them, is because obviously, low range is not super effective against, range, or depending on how many zombies there are. So yeah, it can be kind of difficult in certain situations, but star forts, usually you do not go wrong with building them. So you see me kind of scattering them around the base, covering all entrances, and I feel like the good amount of DPS on the left side, west side, is pretty solid. Basically 2 minutes to survive until, final boss spawns. And yeah, it's, guys, like, look at this. We got the Doom Guard on the right, rain of fire in most of these structures, and brutes are coming in, like those meat golems with like immolation, crazy siege damage, and we're about to see 2 massive krakens just raining terror inside of our base. So it's about to get crazy. Okay, anyways, it feels like we're pretty solid on the west side of our base just because we have a good amount of star forts, right? Good amount of multi-shot, very tanky. We could just send in a few repair bots there and we'll be quite fine. So here we got a breach on the east side of our base. It seems like Fuzzy is ready pretty much to defend that area. But coming in on left side, we have another Doom Guard, and yeah, look at the damage on those star forts. Another thing you can note whenever you're playing this game is you see there's a small opening in our base. Essentially what that does to the zombies, which is a mistake of me covering this area, is because zombies actually try to break in or go in for some reason. So you could literally create a small hole. There's actually, a base type called maze, I think, if I remember correctly. It's kind of known in their community, where you could build in certain way that you have holes in your maze, in your base, luring the zombies within your base and taking them out as they maze through your, your base, which is, it's a viable strategy. I don't necessarily, think it's the best one, but the one we're using at the moment is completely fine too, where you have like a completely closed base. So at the moment we're upgrading the houses to I think it's called houses to apartments, I think, our last tier, and those generate quite a bit of gold per minute. So here comes the final boss. It's it's about to get crazy, boys. Copyright music, I kind of panicked there, but we have to survive. The only thing we have to do here, it doesn't matter if our base is in absolute shambles, as long as we kill all the zombies and the kraken both krakens are down, we're fine. It doesn't matter. So like an absurd amount of zombies spawn. I don't know, like it goes from 0 to 100 real quick. So here on the left side we're completely fine, but north is the problem, right? This is where I feel like we've lacked a little bit of, defenses, because most of our like kind of tech is over there, right? When you think about it, we have like what, half the amount of star forts? That's kind of a problem. So here we have a few pillage boxes doing quite a bit of damage, but our walls are slowly but surely falling. We're even using trebuchet. This is how desperate I am at this point. But the thing is, it's doing quite a bit of work, which is super nice. A lot of infantrymen on the bottom left, which is good. Some workers are not working, which is kind of tilting, stuck in the tree line top left, or I'm losing a little bit of economy, but it's fine. So here he's building a lot of star forts. I'm sending in a few repair bots too to help us kind of repair the walls, which is here where they really come in handy. So this is where you're going to see that it's going to be troublesome. You see that kraken? Ooh, it does quite a bit of damage. It does quite a bit of damage. So good thing one of them spawned on the left side where pretty much we're the most secured area, right? So one of the bosses that we have to deal with is completely getting destroyed by all of our starports. So it seems like we're fine with one of the bosses, but the one on the top right or north is literally, I don't know, it's questionable. I'm not sure how we're going to be handling it, but you know, the zombies are soaking up damage for it. And yeah, as you see, it's doing a lot of freaking damage. It's still alive. It has so much freaking HP and it's tough, dude. It's looking dire. I'm not going to lie. But I feel like we're putting up a good fight. We're building more star forts. I'm running low on the resources. You see a lot of, you know, repair bots being queued up. But I feel like the one on the left, we're handling it just fine. But it doesn't matter because we have to eliminate all the freaking Krakens in order to win this. And obviously the zombies. So we still have north kind of to like handle, right? So you see how much damage one Kraken can deal. But if you're prepared for it with like 3 lines of star forts, it feels to be, it seems like it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, Krakens do spawn tentacles, so those can be like troublesome too. The only problem that I see here is my my main tech center is literally exposed. Like it's completely exposed out in the open, and they finally break through. And this is where it starts. I start to panic, right? I'm like, oh shoot. If I lose this research center, I cannot build any star forts. I cannot research anything. Like I cannot build walls or anything. So I'm gonna have to like rebuild my main base from the beginning. So all I'm doing here is queuing a lot of repair bots and hoping for the best. Because again, it's tough. Here it's tough. Most of these units are kind of rallying around, you know, which I'm not complaining about because the star forts are definitely handling that bunch of zombies. But look at this. Look at the amount of zombies that we see from the north. How the hell are we supposed to handle this? Like we have so many star forts. This is, you know, this is difficult because like whenever you're 2 players in the same base, obviously, you know, you'll get increased difficulty. So we're even getting freaking air units at the moment. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. This, dude, I feel like, oh my God, look at the amount of air units we're getting. Dude, this is crazy. How is this game makes any sense? I'm laughing because I'm like, dude, there's no way we're surviving. I'm like, how does this make any sense to have all of this? Like, dude, this map developer is on crack. What the hell? Like, chill, man. Let us survive. And like, what? I feel like this is normal difficulty, by the way, guys. This is literally normal difficulty. We could have played this on hard, and this would have been so much more difficult. But anyways, here again, base is in absolute shambles. We're getting completely rocked on the top right. We're taking so much damage. There's literally nothing we could do. I feel like it's almost impossible to. It feels like it's almost impossible to defend against this. Like, there's infinite zombies coming in, and like, what are we? Sorry about that. What are we supposed to do? Like, how many freaking star forts do we need to defend against that? That's crazy. I feel like maybe I could have played that a little bit better, like fortified both ends like evenly, because I feel like we did fine. How many star forts are there? I feel like it's the equivalent amount. Probably like maybe like 5 or 6 less, but still. Again, Kraken is almost down, but it doesn't matter because even if it's down, we still have to kill all the zombies. And every time a zombie kills a peasant or a worker, they morph. So obviously difficulty can increase if you're not careful. This is what we're queuing up at the moment, is a lot of repair bots. Hopefully they'll help out. I think obviously since those repair bots are mechanical, they won't morph, which obviously that would make sense. I'm even freaking destroying some of my farms to build more star forts. But the thing is, my main building is now almost down. And the second that's down, I cannot build anything anymore, which is really bad. But yeah, those repair bots are super effective. As you can see, they're super good. And here is the spot where I literally lose my research center. I'm starting to lose all my apartments. All my buildings are about to fall. And dude, like, I don't know, I'm panicking at this point. I'm like making random walls in our base because I have no techs, right? I have no tech. I have so much gold, just no tech, no lumber production. It's really bad, guys. It's really bad. Look at the amount of zombies there are. Like, how is this balanced? Excuse me? Like, who designed this game? What the hell? Like, oh my God. Okay, I mean, I guess we just had to survive. Like, Fuzzy's literally saying that it's okay. Like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. I'm literally, I'm skeptical, just a tad. I'm running most of my gatherers and peasants down south, essentially pretty much hiding, try to create like a small hideout and running closer to my star forts. I feel like probably that's the best area to have my most of my units. But again, we still have a lot of towers pretty much like alive. So I feel like we could clear most of these zombies. The second they start going closer to the west side, I feel like we're fine. There's not much left. Again, that's true. That's true. You know, small losses, as you know, Grubby would say. But yeah, dude, it's absolutely crazy. But there's still quite a bit. Like a lot of air units, a lot of zombies. There's some of them are still morphing, so that's why you kind of want to move most of these, most of your workers on the left side. But I feel like we're doing completely fine. I feel like I was pretty heavy at the end. Look at this guy. I has literally 3.5k kills and I have 800 kills. But I feel like most of my defenses are on the left side, so I feel like it's somewhat justifiable. Maybe it's just excuses to say that I'm bad, but listen, I feel like I played fine. I feel like I played fine, okay? I did my best. It is what it is, you know? If you guys want to see more of this in the future, you know, you let me know. Because this guy wanted to challenge me with 6 Krakens. If you guys want to see that, you know, hit the like button on the freaking video. Anyways, yeah, it's getting crazy. It's getting out of hand at this point. So a lot of freaking zombies still alive. We just have to research. I feel like infantry, just clear them out. I feel like that's probably the best option. I'm still just like trying to rebuild at this point. Dude, the amount of freaking zombies, dude. It's like how? I feel like me playing this solo, I would have lost like mid of 5. I'm not gonna lie. I'm desperately trying to get anything going, but again, once you die in this game, again, I feel like there's no comeback mechanic. That's the problem. I feel like one of the issues with this game, I feel like it's so unforgiving. You make one mistake and you're pretty much out and you have to restart. So replayability of the game is relatively like bad, in my opinion, because I feel like once you play it, you know, or I mean, you could technically replay it. I feel like it's fine. Still replay the game quite a few times, but I don't know. I feel like there could be a way. Maybe there would be like an easier way to play the game, because I feel like even on normal difficulty, this is tough, man. For like the average gamer, tough times for sure. But yeah, we're thinning out the wave, guys. Pretty straightforward, and yeah, it's actually looking not so bad. Like even if our our base is absolutely burning at the moment, I feel like it's not looking so bad. Like our boy here Fuzzy has a few infantry just keep on the right side, as you see. He's going to pretty much eliminate the remainder of the zombies, and that's pretty much what she wrote when it comes to this game. Last little bit of effort, rallying up this infantry and taking out the final zombies. Dude, what a freaking roller coaster of emotion when it comes. Dude, this game was crazy. If you guys want to see more zombie survival in the future, make sure to smash the like button, and would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for the awesome support on that last zombie survival video. If you guys want to see more of that particular game or zombie survival video that I played before, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this actual game. I don't know if I'm going to be giving this one another shot. I feel like we pretty much extracted as much content as we can from this one, unless there's like a fun new challenge we could do. But guys, that's pretty much it. Unbelievable, you did it. Congratulations. The game will end in 30 seconds. What a game. I feel like this was a pretty good showcase. I hope you guys enjoyed. Anyways, have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm tired of talking. I hate zombie survivals. See you guys soon.